going on, friends? There's a lot of options when it comes to Harley-Davidson motorcycles, and a lot of those options come down to, are you a mechanic or do you want to be a mechanic? But believe it or not, Harley-Davidson motorcycles actually aren't that unreliable or hardly capable if you use them for their intended purpose and you know exactly what you're doing with them. Even to this day, Harley-Davidson still hasn't been able to shake their reputation on reliability. In other words, them being unreliable, and the Harleys leaking oil jokes are still pretty prevalent amongst the folks out there that really just don't like Harley-Davidson. I know you've probably heard it, Harley-Davidson wants 30 grand for a motorcycle that has an engine in it about the size of a small compact car, and it only makes 60 horsepower. Now, even while modern Harleys are more reliable than they've ever been, people still want a cheap, good old Harley-Davidson that they can find out on Marketplace, because whether you're the first, second, fifth, or 10th owner, these bikes go for absolute dirt cheap. Now, if you're not a mechanic, or you're at least not mechanically inclined, and you fall into one of these dirt cheap used Harley-Davidsons, you're probably really going to start to agree with the Harley hater crowd pretty quick. Guys, please don't forget, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. Now, it's highly likely out there on Marketplace you're going to find a used Harley, probably from the 80s, early 90s, that's been parked for years. It was running when it was parked. The only thing it needs is a battery and a carb cleaning. And you might be tempted to spend some money on that because it's going to be pretty cheap. But the fact is, you're probably inheriting somebody else's problem and a whole host of other problems that you're going to find later on when you really actually start digging into the motorcycle. Now, for a lot of us, we already know exactly what needs to happen when it comes to a bike like this. Obviously, anything rubber on the motorcycle is probably going to have to be replaced, like fuel lines, vacuum lines, puke tubes, you name it, all that's going to have to be replaced. A lot of this isn't an issue for a lot of the viewers on this channel. I know there's plenty of viewers on this channel that thrive on motorcycles just like that. Even for somebody that thrives on these motorcycles, if you open the gas tank and you find a crusty, rusty, nasty Apocalypse, you pretty much know you got your work cut out for you, and you can guarantee everything else down from the gas tank is probably going to be representative of what you're looking at. Now, these old bikes are great for somebody that can pick them up cheap, knows how to get them running, and most importantly, with the age of these motorcycles, knows where to source the parts that have been long discontinued, and really nobody on the aftermarket's making those parts, or you know how to basically resurrect these old electrical parts in case you have something that's, well, let's just say electrical gremlins to keep it simple. Getting a crusty old Harley back to life again isn't exactly the hard part. Anybody with any kind of mechanical knowledge can get that done pretty easily. The hard part is keeping it running and keeping it out on the road. And that's where I say you either have to be a mechanic or you're damn sure ready to learn how to be a mechanic, albeit more than likely on the side of the road somewhere. Now, one of the worst nightmares you can set yourself up for on an old dirt cheap Harley is if it has any kind of modified frame. I get it, the welds may look good on the bike to the naked eye, but you don't know who welded that, when it was welded, or maybe even how it was welded, and it's really hard to see what's going on underneath the Krylon on the frame. In my book, frame modifications are a definite no-go. Just because you don't know who did the work and what kind of homemade job was done, it's hard to tell just by looking at it. Now, I'm not opposed to a bike like that if you just want some parts off of it, especially an engine and transmission, and you plan on junking the frame anyhow. Now, the next fun part about these old Harleys is going to be the wiring system on it. How many times has this thing been chopped, crimped, spliced back together with cheap junk-ass AutoZone crimp connectors, and how well was it done? And chasing down any electrical faults in these old systems can be a real nightmare, because they're definitely not as simple as the later systems in the newer Harleys with the CAN bus systems. Now, albeit the CAN bus system has less wires, but then again, you run into computers, and as we all know, computers kind of fail and nobody can ever really tell you why. Looking at an old motorcycle, especially if it doesn't run, we all know this is a crapshoot because, one, does the engine turn over? Great, we at least have that, but they always say it was running when it was parked, But how well was it running when it was parked is always my question, and you really don't ever know that until you get the bike started and actually running after you've bought it. But one thing you could do that would probably be a great idea is get a compression check on the motorcycle if you can, but then again, that engine's probably a little too crusty and you don't want to turn it over until you've somewhat had it apart, lubed the cylinders, and went through all the steps of starting an old motor that's been sitting for years. But your true answer on how you did on this bike purchase is really going to come when you get that fuel system sorted out and you're able to start up the bike and see what kind of fun noises it's going to make for you, and hopefully they'll go away. They usually don't, but sometimes you get lucky. Now, Harleys from the 80s, these usually go really cheap, especially Sportsters, and kind of forgettable big twins from that era if they weren't a special edition or anything, but they all have this one little inherent issue, and it is the charging system. And to put it simply, they weren't the best. It honestly wouldn't be a stretch to say that the charging system on the 80s model Harleys was definitely the weakest link of the whole motorcycles. The engines were good, the charging system, well, wasn't. Voltage regulators were fail, stators were unreliable as hell, rotor magnets can shift, and, well, sometimes the entire rotor could come apart and run through just about anything it can get its hands on. That's why I say if you're looking at these old, cheap Harley-Davidsons that you could pull off the side of someone's house or out of their garage, you'd better be a mechanic or you better be ready to learn how to become one in pretty short order, because you get one of these bikes and you start riding it out on the road, you think you've got everything sorted on one of these motorcycles and you start riding it a little further away from the shop, that's when it's going to hit. That one thing that you thought you'd taken care of is going to come back to bite you, or something that you looked at and said, it'll be all right, it's good. That's going to be the one that gets you. So guys, I want your opinions. How do you feel about buying one of these motorcycles dirt cheap and resurrecting one of these bikes that you found out on Facebook Marketplace? Now, I know it's definitely not for everybody, especially somebody that has no mechanical knowledge. I would highly recommend they buy something that they just need to change fluids in and that they could go ride it. But for those that are willing to endure the challenge, the financial ruin, and the inevitable frustration, these make excellent motorcycles. So guys, let me know your opinions on them down in the comments. But yeah, guys, that's all I've got for you this week. If you guys enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. Well, until next week, guys, you stay safe on the streets, ride smart, dodge those cars. Catch you guys back here next week with a brand new video. Thanks for watching.